Hi again, everybody. I'm so happy you're back, and I can't wait to make some art with you today. Let me just show you what I have, and you can take a few minutes and gather some things too if you are, you still need some stuff. I've got my glue stick and my scissors, and I'm sure that everyone has something similar nearby, crayons or markers or colored pencils. I want to show you the paper that I'm going to work on today. If you have a dark piece of paper, I have a black piece of construction paper or a dark blue or a purple or a green, something that's kind of dark, that would be awesome. And I got myself a white crayon out of my crayon box because the white crayon will show up on my dark piece of paper. But if you have a light colored piece of paper, that's okay too. You'll just want to make sure the crayon that you choose to use in a little bit shows up. A white crayon on a white piece of paper won't show up. So I'm going to set this aside for now because I want to be careful that I'm not cutting that yet. Okay, so this is going to be your background piece of paper. So set your background piece of paper just out of the way a little bit. So then I've got some other paper. Let me show you what I have, and maybe you have some similar things. This might give you some extra ideas. This is a pad of paper, but I liked this bright pink color, and it's got some lines. I've got some pages I pulled out of magazines, just some scraps. Collage artists love to use envelopes, leftover envelopes. Can you see that pattern on the envelope? And then I've got some scraps of paper. I've got some construction paper, and I've got some plain white paper. So whatever you have in front of you might look kind of similar. So let me tell you what we're going to do with some paper today. We are going to make our own patterned paper by scribbling. Look at this. You see those scribbles? I was just trying to scribble around and make a little bit of doodles and designs on my paper. So we're going to do this to about maybe 4 pieces of paper that you have. So just find a piece of paper you want to do some scribbles on. Find a crayon or a marker that looks good to you. But all I'm going to do, find a piece of paper, and I'm just going to make some doodles or some scribbles. And it's up to you. Maybe you want to do curlicues. Maybe you want a lot of space in between your doodles. Or maybe you want to scribble some doodles really close together. I really like to do some loopy-loops like this. And test out the things that you have. We've all got some different materials, so all of our artwork is going to look a little bit different. And it's always kind of fun to make some scribbles on your papers because now we're making some collage papers that are all designed and doodled differently. So I kind of like those loopy loops again. I might make some more of those. What if I take another color and fill in some of the shape? That could be fun. I will try to doodle on this envelope. It already has a pattern, but that's okay. I can add some more on top. And it just goes like this. Whoop. A U. And then another U. Maybe that's kind of a W. And then if you connect them all together, whoop, 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 whoop. These kind of look like waves to me right now. Maybe it's because I'm using a blue marker. Ooh, maybe I could alternate my doodles here with a different color. There are no rules at all to what we're making right now, except for having some fun. I really like what I did here with the coloring in between some of my spaces. Maybe I'll go back to my first piece of paper you do the same thing. Oh, what if I use this next? Like that. And maybe I'll go back to, maybe a purple would be nice. So I'm gonna just go back to some scribbles. Look at this piece of magazine paper I had. It already has some interesting lines and designs and doodles on it. So I could use something like this today too, and I don't even have to make scribbles on it because it already has some. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 scribble papers to use for our next steps. So here's what happens next. I'm going to move my scribble papers out of the way, and now I'm going to come back and find that background paper I was saving. I'm going to make sure I have my white crayon. So I've got my dark background or my light colored background, whatever it is that you're using. And I'm going to do the same type of scribbling, but this time I'm going to use a white crayon so that it shows up on this dark background. And I'm just going to do the same thing, kind of make some big loop-de-loops. So this will be the background for our collage, which is going to look a little bit like this. We're going to make a galaxy collage. And can you see all the planets or moons or stars? These are all cut out of scribble papers, just like we already made. So our next step is to cut out some planets or moons or stars, whatever you want to put in your galaxy. So I'm just going to find some scribble paper. I'm going to find my scissors so I can do some snipping. So I'm going to find one of my scribble papers. I think I'll just cut this in a little bit, cut a piece a little bit smaller to start. Sometimes I think it's easier to cut a circle when I have a small piece of paper instead of one big piece of paper. And now, just gonna cut out the circle. Remember what we said on Tuesday, that sometimes it's easier to keep your scissors still and move your paper around. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. If there are some wobbly parts or bumps, that's all right. Now I've got one planet for my Scribble collage galaxy. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to make a couple more circles. This part, the scribble part here, to me, it reminds me of like the Milky Way or galaxies or space dust somehow. Let's see. Let's make this a little smaller for myself. And the cool part is, once I'm done with my scribble papers for today, I have this really cool looking paper to add to my stack of papers to collage with. I might use this in another project, maybe next week. Get that. Now what we could do is start gluing down our planets as we go, or sometimes if you don't glue them down right away, you can move them around while you're deciding what you want your galaxy collage to look like. You can do that however you want. I think I'm going to cut one more planet, so I have 5. Whoa, look at that, all those lines. Whoa, I wish this is what I could see in the sky at night. Look, just like this. That's one way, a really good idea of a way to make a ring. You might want it a little bit longer. See how it's just coming to the edge of this planet here? Maybe I would make this one a little bit longer. But I can show you another way too to make a ring if you want to try a different way. I'm going to use this blue piece of paper, and this time, so I'm going to just cut kind of like an egg, but we're making it extra tall. So it's like a squished circle or a tall egg, kind of like this. And then I need to leave the outside of this and cut out the inside. But I can do that really easily by just snipping a little bit into the side of the oval, just a little bit. Yeah. And then I'm gonna kind of wiggle my scissors into that part. Then I'm just gonna cut an oval, following the edge with the inside. But you can see what's left behind is kind of the outside edge of that oval shape. Now I'm just gonna take this oval and give my planet a hug with it, which makes that cut part go behind the planet. How tricky is that? Look at that again. My oval is kind of one big ring now, but it's cut out in the middle, which is okay because I can just give my planet a hug. And now it's on the back. Pretty cool, huh? Maybe I'll try it with this planet. See how that planet is a little bit small, I think, for this big ring that I made. So here I am, just being an artist, making some decisions with how I want my rings and planets to go. Maybe the last thing I'll add is a little moon for this planet. So I might find another piece of paper. How about just plain pink? That might look pretty good. All right, I think I better glue mine down here. I'm gonna find my extra piece of paper so that I don't get glue on my table. And I've got my glue stick. Now I'm just going to put these planets where I want to in my galaxy. This one kind of reminds me of a donut. It looks like a donut with icing all over the top and a hole in the middle. Here's how I would glue this planet to put the ring in front of and behind it. I think what I'll do first is put some glue right on the part where I cut. And then I can stick my planet in there, kind of tap that cut part on the back. And now this part, I could put a little glue underneath that ring if I want to. I might not need to. It's a little bit messy because now I'm putting the glue on my fingers, but that's okay. That's what sinks and soap and water are for, right? I know we're all washing our hands so much these days anyway. Now I can put glue on this whole planet. Yeah, I like that. Look how much glue I got on that ring. That's okay, it will dry. You could name your whole galaxy. Maybe this galaxy is called like Carter Space Land. So you can name your galaxy, you can name your planet, you can make up stories that happen on this planet. You could add another piece of paper and tape them together and keep building your galaxy just like this. Maybe you take another paper and put it next to your first galaxy. Maybe you just build a gigantic collage galaxy. That would be fun. Isn't it cool to see how the scribble papers that we made, now they just look like really interesting papers, oops, that's a magazine, that we cut out of. We don't see the whole scribble paper anymore, so it looks really cool. And then I might add some stars. I'm going to use this kind of a white pin. It might show up a little easier. So let me do some stars just like that. I love that about a galaxy collage. It looks just beautiful anyway. You spin it around. How cool is that? If you want to keep working on your galaxies, you could add other details like other planets or suns or stars or asteroids, which are like little rocks in space. Or maybe you want to add a rocket ship or an astronaut. You can add whatever details you want to your galaxy. But you did a great job today. We were mixed media artists. We did more than just collage, and now we've got some more papers to add to our collection to use when we collage together again. Thanks for coming today.
Now, if you like that video, make sure you hit the like button to help us grow the YouTube channel, and hit the subscribe button to make sure that you get notified for future videos. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.